The market has just received its second test of the upward monthly expected move, and these monthly expected moves tell us that there's a little bit more risk still going into the end of the month, and that's not the only thing. Talking about any kind of risk in these areas, overall stated over on X that we could see a period of time where the bulls still remain in control, but the dollar remaining elevated with the reversal signals here, and not to mention that the dollar is calling that this can be something pretty bad where people fly into cash and potentially get out of stocks. We want to consider what's going on with this market. We want to be very hesitant to think that this market is going to absolutely squeeze to the upside by large amounts when this signal is intact. That would be very difficult. We would have to see a failure of the signal. A failure of the signal would be the daily chart able to cross down over here. But I'd like to mention we have taken out that previous high where if we carve out a higher low, yes, the SPY can get outside of this monthly expected move. We can see a little bit more upside, but that upside seems to be limited and risky at this point. So we're going to get you guys today. We're going to briefly, like we just did, actually go over that daily chart just to remind you about it. But today is mostly about getting you the daily and weekly expected moves for the week ahead. This right here on the SPY, we see that the daily chart has crossed to the downside, suggesting we are in some kind of pullback, and we have not seen a new high in the shorter time frames. We're going to talk about that in just a moment, but we do see 757.26 to the upside for our our weekly expected move, with the downside move being 734.02. If we do see some kind of curl up early on in the week, it would be very likely. In fact, 75% of the time, these areas act like magnets, and you see a test of it. You see that from the monthly expected move, getting some resistance there. You see that from another tag of the monthly expected move, getting a little bit resistance there. So we want to go into the 2-hour chart and suggest what were we overall talking about? Hey, if we start to see reversal signals by the monthly expected move, that is a risky thing. We saw a reversal signal by the monthly expected move, and we're able to take out this previous low for the 2-hour chart. That does suggest that we should watch for some kind of downtrend. But at this moment, we have taken back the 5-day moving average. So from the 2-hour chart, we will acknowledge the fact that the bulls have done a little bit of work here, but we really would like to see the 2-hour make a new high before we believe that this trend can continue. We really, if you're a bull, you really would like to see this right now just continue to the upside and get to that weekly expected move, maybe pull back into these areas, and then see continued higher lows on the 2-hour chart. The reason that you want to see that right now is because if you go up a little bit higher and you don't squeeze through but turn around, or even turn around right now, you can see from the closure of the bars that you are even here, which means that this divergence right here is intact. And have we wiped out the other divergence? No, we have not. So you would have a form of triple divergence here. This is the risky thing. And over here on the RSI, you can plainly see that these divergences got more significant if they would confirm early next week. So if I'm a bull and I see the 2-hour confirm to the downside, and I see that we are closer to going into a negative trend, and we just beat out this low, and this technically has not made a new high. If it rolls before making a new high or sets up a divergence point, either way, I want to be very cautious of this MACD turning down by the center line. If I'm a bull, I want this to completely squeeze through. I want it to ruin divergences on the MACD. I want it to ruin divergences on the RSI. And as of right now, you would be paying attention for the moment until those are violated. This is a risky signal. The reason you really want to pay attention to this at this point is because the dollar is saying that something bad is coming around the corner. Okay, let's go over into the Qs and get you guys those levels, because the Qs are saying the same thing here. We see those divergences over on the left side for the MACD on the 2-hour. We see them over here on the RSI. We see it getting more and more significant. So that would just tell us to be prepared. If this crosses down, then we can see some kind of surprise. But remember the note at the beginning of this video where we said sideways can take place for a long time. I want to remind you of all the time that we kind of went sideways, saw a drop, went sideways, then we finally saw a break to the downside. We can see that again at this moment. I'm not necessarily leaning towards it, but I do suggest paying attention early on this week. If the 2 hour is able to cross down before violating divergence, the bulls here would like to see a squeeze through. We see here that 733.77 to the upside for your weekly expected move, the downside move being 701.31. So it is suggesting that taking out this level is a little bit lower probability. So, are we going to get a surprise? Well, a surprise would coincide with the indicators if we cross to the downside. That would be very, very clear for your weekly expected moves. Let's go into the 30-minute chart for a moment. I know we didn't do that on the SPY, but it's very, very similar to the Qs, and we're going to include these daily expected moves: 722.90 to the upside, 712.18 to the downside. We see here there is no divergence, no divergence, no lower high, no lower high, no lower high in price action, nothing like that. So what would we want to see here? If we're going to create a trap where we take out these levels and we just set a trap, but we fail to make it to that weekly expected move for the squeeze, we could see something like this, where you get some kind of divergence that tells you when that 2-hour chart is more likely to cross down, or you could see a lower high. That would mean we get a surprise on Monday, we get a reaction to the upside, and we curl down again to get some kind of lower high using this liquidity in here. That would be the highest probable way to tell you before it happens. Barring some kind of surprise, you would look for a 30-minute divergence or a 30-minute lower high where the 2-hour chart can cross down with its divergence. This is a risky time, so you want to be paying attention to those things. As of right now, though, the 30-minute is very well intact. So this means that the bulls are very much so in the shortest time frame that I like to watch, being the 30-minute. They are in control as of right now. The loss of control would be shown by a divergence that plays out, or by some kind of lower high, and that also would be your hint that the 2-hour can drop. And that means that if the 2-hour crosses down, you are at risk of a bigger daily pullback. IWM here on the 30-minute chart. Once again, same story, but one thing about IWM that I find very interesting is, remember we said you have to take out this level for the bulls to be back in the party pretty much. They were able to take back that level, guys. We broke through that level. You see how positive trend this 30-minute is. So when we consider daily expected moves, 287.56 to the upside, we see 282.68 to the downside. This means that the most probable thing is to just create a 30-minute higher low. The MACD has a lot of room here. There's no lower high, and you'd probably have to see a pretty significant one here because this is so bullish, and there's no kind of divergence over here. So we want to consider that when looking at the 2-hour chart, because the IWM is not stating here. I think you really would like it to take out this level, because if it does, that would be enough to say, hey, there's not really any reversal signals here, right? You can curl down early on in the week and be in negative territory and just say this is the overall lower high. But as of right now, this move is so strong that you have to still pay attention to continuation, even if this crosses down. I know that's crazy to say, but IWM is its own party right now. It's kind of doing its own thing. And you can see that. Are we taking out this level and creating some kind of right shoulder with this? Are we taking out this level and doing it? Or are we taking out this level and doing it? But overall, if you drew this kind of sideways, you've already gapped above the resistance here. So if you get some kind of right shoulder that could have been, this can continue to the upside. And I know that's crazy to say, but the daily here for IWM is a little bit deeper on that MACD. And it is saying like, hey, I can curl up here. There's no kind of lower high for the daily or anything like that. And I believe we failed to take out this level this week. We failed to take out this level right here last week. So very critical for this. This means that IWM is actually more so saying, hey, you still have to watch for upside. This actually makes total sense when we consider those annual or yearly expected moves. We never got that pullback that could have been. So if we're going to continue to the upside, we really have to hold price here. And if we curl on this MACD to the upside, yes, we'll pay attention to next month's monthly expected move, but I have a sneaky suspicion that that will be right around 295.67 if the bulls can remain intact for the rest of this month. Let's go over into volatility. Let's see what's going on over there. Right now, the risky thing is you're creating a bunch of little divergences on this RSI. Now, in this moment, you do have two indications, the RSI and the price here. Actually, it's a reading, but the reading here closing below these levels, it does suggest that squeeze is on the table. So we'll see if we're able to squeeze through. That would really surprise me, but I'm down for it. That's perfectly fine. We continue to do our job. But as of right now, if we would turn back to the upside, you're just creating more and more reversal signals by 1671, by 1683 is my current level that I really like to watch. The problem with creating reversals here is the 2-hour is very deep. This means that divergence for the SPY seems to be more probable, where you get some kind of reaction reaction from the 2 hour, you drop down a little bit lower, you create some kind of divergence, maybe even by the end of the month. I think that that seems more probable because we do not see any kind of divergence or higher low at this moment. But if you wanted to see if volatility was going to curl to the upside, right? Let's look at daily charts, right? We want that to stay going towards the center line. If you want some volatility, well, then you need to see some kind of 2 hour higher low above that 5 day moving average, that blue line, or you'd more likely see divergence. And most of the time, we will see divergence for volatility. So, what does that tell me I need to watch for? What's the most probable according to volatility? According to right now, how volatility likes to move over time and the bullishness in this move, the most likely scenario here is not going to be the surprise, right? A surprise over the weekend would still be kind of unexpected. So the surprise would create potentially the lower high scenario. But because we analyze volatility last, and because you stuck to the end of this video, and I appreciate you watching this far, I hope you consider subscribing if you found anything in this video helpful. The reason we would watch for this is because of volatility. Volatility doesn't have divergence or a higher low. So that means that all that has to happen here is we retest that daily expected move, we curl to the upside, and then around these areas, we have to see if that divergence confirms. But that tells me something very obvious for the SPY early on in the week if I wanted to take anything very small here. If the SPY is able to dip down into this area, and I see some signs that it's going to turn around maybe on my 15 or 5 minute chart, that would mean that the most likely thing is a swing trade for the 30 minute to potentially at least test 750 would very much so be on the table with confirmation down here on your MACD. So I just wanted to point that out. I wanted to point that out at the end of the video. Since you watched this far, I wanted to give my take of what I think is the most probable based on the information that I see in front of me. And right now, I believe that, yes, the SPY does have those reversal signals. I think those can remain intact. But at the same time, volatility does not have reversal signals right now. That suggests to me that we can get a pullback that leads into another upward move. Will that take us to the weekly, or will it stop short with the divergence? That's the reaction I have to consider after thinking about, hey, do I want to take some kind of little 30-minute swing here? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I wanted to put this out there and just get this information out for the whole weekend so you could have time to consider it. I didn't have the most time this morning, but I hope you guys appreciate this information. I hope that it is helpful to you. And if it is helpful to you, consider subscribing and hitting that like button. Peace out, guys. Have a good one.